Just kind of remember that Jesus had done the same thing.
The question was like, is serving costly? Has it ever been costly for me? I think the answer is of course. Yeah, I think as I was looking at what you guys were looking at today, you're learning how service, the foundation of service is love, and love by definition is sacrificial, right? Love, you give up your own to do what's the best for others. And as I was thinking about this question, I think there was a passage from 1 John, I'm just trying to find it now. I'm pretty sure it's chapter 4. It's 1 John chapter 4, and it's we love because he first loved us. I think that's how it goes. I think it's chapter 4 verse 19 or something like that. And I think elsewhere Paul talks about in 2 Corinthians 5 that how he talks about how the love of Christ controls him. It grips him to give up his life for others. And I'll say that's kind of what motivates me. It's that understanding that Christ has given up his life for me, that he loves me. And I think these are things that we hear a lot during the week, or like during every week at Spark, hopefully, or when we read the Bible. But I think it's just really coming to know that God really does love me, and like I want to share that love with others.
Yeah, I think for me, when I was like back in Spark, you could have like people come along to Spark and then they stop coming for a few weeks. So I would like help by messaging them or following up on them, but then they don't always respond positively, or they kind of fade away and like drift away from church, and that can be quite discouraging as a Christian. So I think serving can also be like relationally costly, where you don't always see positive things come out of it, but you know that you do it out of love for those people.
What would you guys say to someone here who feels they don't know what their gifts are, or they don't feel like they know where to start with serving? What would you say to someone like that? They've never done it before, maybe.
I can go first to this one. What would I say to someone who doesn't really know what their gifts are? Is that the question?
Yeah, or just combining it with, or they've never done it before, they don't know where to start.
I think, when I was thinking about this, I think one thing I was thinking about is how we actually define gifts, like what do we mean by gifts? And I think we really think about gifts as like what we're good at, because that seems to be how the world talks about, how people around us talk about it. It's like, what are you gifted in? In other words, what are you talented in? What are you skilled in? But that doesn't seem to be the way that God talks about gifts in the Bible. And there's this really interesting passage in Exodus chapter 31. So this is around the time where God had commanded in the Old Testament for the Israelites to build the tabernacle, which was the tent in which God was going to come and dwell in with his people. And so they needed people to build the tent. So there was a need at hand, and this is what God says. So Exodus 31. The Lord said to Moses, "See, I have called by name Bezalel the son of Uri, son of Hur of the tribe of Judah, and I have filled him with the Spirit of God, with ability and intelligence, with knowledge and all craftsmanship, to devise artistic designs, to work in gold, silver, and bronze, and in cutting stones for setting and carving wood, to work in every craft. And behold, I have appointed with him Oholiab, the son of Ahisamach, the tribe of Dan, and I have given to all able men ability, that they may make all that I have commanded you." So in other words, there was a need at hand, and God doesn't say, "Oh, here's a skilled guy, go use him." It's, I brought this guy along and I've given him gifts for the purpose of doing my work. And so gifts is not really like, what are you skilled in? But it's more like, how has God used you to build his kingdom or do his work? So you would say someone is skilled in evangelism not because they're good at preaching the gospel, like good at speaking, or because they know a lot of the gospel, but the measure of someone being gifted in evangelism would be how many people are they brought to Christ. I think that's how I think about that. So I think what Mike was saying before, like where's the need and where's your heart to serve? So say, try to think about that as the first thing. Do you guys have anything else you guys want to add?
I think like if you don't know where to start, back at Spark, I also did the same thing as Sarah, just kind of like organizing who could do Bible reading and prayer, and kind of just like fill in the spots if no one could do it. I think just like starting from like those small things, it really takes like 5 minutes of my time, your time as well, every week. Just like 5 minutes, message 2 people. It's really quite simple. I think like putting out chairs as well. Like think simple things like when you see someone in need, some area that's in need. When you come to Spark, I think just like starting with those small things. It doesn't have to be an actual ministry that we've given a name to, not just anything, as Andrew said, that's in need.
Something I found really easy with that is if you've been